Hi and welcome to another narration presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to tap that notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. I would like to reach out and say a huge thank you to those of you that have been supporting Cryptids Roosts financially. We pray the good Lord replenishes you abundantly, and to those of you who will, later on. We pray the good Lord bless you as you do so, and also a huge thank you to everyone for always supporting the channel with your likes, comments and shares as well. It is all very much appreciated. God bless you all. We have now surpassed 500 subscribers. To celebrate this milestone, we are currently running a competition to celebrate it. The competition will be running for the next few days, so be sure to pop over to the competition video and register your vote. It's open to everyone. The competition ends Monday night UK time, so that'll be Monday the 6th of September. So good luck to everyone who enters. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. The Indomitable Armada of cows gloriously rises to the skies. This awesome short story is written by Scare in a Box, a wonderful author over on Reddit. And if you'd like to read more of their works, the Reddit link to their profile will be below in the description. The 8-ounce steak sizzled on the grill, creating a mouth-watering aroma around the cosy suburban garden. Bill took the tongs and flipped the meat over, the juices hitting as they hit the open flames below. Bill subconsciously licked his lips, hunger rumbling through his stomach. The air was sweltering despite the summer breeze, and a bead of sweat trickled on the back of Bill's exposed neck. It was the perfect weather for the juicy tender steak he'd bought fresh that morning. As Bill prodded the meat with the tongs, trying to gauge how well it was cooked, a shadow fell suddenly over the lawn. The sweat cooled against Bill's skin and the breeze picked up, ruffling the hem of his shorts. The kids across the street suddenly started yelling, and Bill gritted his teeth. Those youngsters always had to spoil his peace and quiet. But a moment later, more voices joined in, shouting and yelling in disbelief until there was a cacophony of noise rumbling down the street. Bill looked up, startled. What was going on? More than half a dozen of his neighbours had congregated out on the street, their faces raised to the sky. When Bill lifted his eyes too, the tongs clattered from his fingers. The sky had gone dark. Thick, roiling clouds moved towards them, the likes of which Bill had never seen before. They moved like something alive, almost as though they were getting closer to the earth, descending upon them like... As the clouds drew closer, Bill realised they weren't clouds at all. The smell of burning tickled Bill's nose as the steak burned on the grill, but he could hardly take his eyes off the sky. Cows. They were cows. Hundreds, possibly thousands of them, flying over the neighbourhood. Their bodies were packed densely together, completely blocking out the sun and casting a shadow that stretched on for miles. Wind whipped across the lawn, breaking a chill over Bill's body as he stood frozen in shock, staring at the multitude of cattle above him. What was happening? Where did they all come from? As the cows completely covered the sky, a low, piercing moo struck the air like thunder, and all at once it began to rain. Thick white droplets of milk thudded to the ground, soaking through the grass around Bill's feet and collecting into puddles along the pavement. The flames on the grill were doused with a thin curl of smoke, and his neighbours jerked into action, trying to rush inside for shelter. The streets filled rapidly. It was just like the flash floods they sometimes got in summer, only it was raining gallons and gallons of milk. The stream became a torrent and the drains were quickly clogged, leaving the milk to fill the street. As the milk levels began to rise, people found it difficult to stay on their feet. It was like a tidal wave, sweeping them along in its ruthless embrace. Bill turned and fled to his garage, struggling to wade through the thick curtain of milk slashing down at him from the cows above. Fumbling with the latch, he threw open the garage door and ducked inside. Milk immediately began to spill in after him, surging down the driveway in a deluge. Without wasting a second, Bill went to the tarp-covered shadow in the corner and tore the material free, unearthing the wooden rowboat underneath. He hadn't taken the boat out in a few years, but he was glad more than ever that he had kept it in good working condition until now. He would need it to survive this unnatural flood. Pushing it out onto the tide of milk, Bill raised the paddles and began to row. The bottom of the paddles scraped against the garage floor, and then he was taken by the wave, ferried along the driveway and out onto the street. The milk level had risen as high as his garden fence now, and it was still coming down, fast and unrelenting. The cows flew on, more of them spitting out of the sky as though they were never ending. People screamed and yelled as they were dragged by the currents, pulled down beneath the surface. Bill saw hands reach for him, crying for help, but he ignored them all, rowing as hard as he could. He couldn't save them now. He had to get himself out of here. A pair of hands grabbed at the boat, and one of Bill's neighbours tried to grapple himself onto the boat with him. Raising a paddle, Bill hit him over the head, watching the man slide down back into the milk. The boat was only big enough for one person, and he couldn't risk it sinking if another passenger weighed it down. He rowed as quickly as he could down the street, going past all the neighbours he had known for years. Faces peering at him out of the upper windows, crying for help as the milk rose, trapping them inside. He went on. Bodies began to rise to the surface, bumping against the sides of the boat, bloated and pale. The children he had seen earlier playing in their garden floated alongside him, dragged along by the current. Bill grimaced, pushing them away with the tip of the paddle. There was nothing he could have done. The cows had come so suddenly without warning. There had been no time to do anything but grab the boat and get as far away as possible. As he reached the end of the street, more bodies floated towards him, mouths and eyes wide open, their skin pale with milk residue. Using the paddle to navigate himself around the corner, Bill saw safety ahead, but he never got that far. The moment the flying cows realised one of the humans was getting away, they targeted him. Dozens of rock-hard cow manure tumbled out of the sky, pummeling Bill with ferocious abandon. As it piled up around him, the boat grew too heavy and began to sink, filling rapidly with milk. Then the boat went under completely, dragging Bill after it. The street below grew still. Nobody was left alive to move. As the cows flew onwards to the next neighbourhood, Bill's body buoyed to the surface, his mouth open, milk spilling out of his eyes and nostrils, dribbling down his chin. He, like the rest of his neighbours, was dead. A few days after the cows had first appeared, the milk flood finally began to recede. The bodies of the cows' victims were swept along by the retreating tides into old rotting fields where their fluids fed the earth. Elsewhere, new grass as green as the finest jade began to sprout. Fed by the rich nutrients in the cow's milk, it grew strong and healthy, breaking up through the pavements to start a new life. It cracked the flagstones, wormed up through floorboards, created new fields across the crumbling remnants of human civilization until the whole planet was covered in fresh green grass. With the retreat of the humans gone, the cows could live in peace. The earth was covered in food and greenery, the air was cleaner, and the cows descended upon their new home, ready to begin a new era. Don't forget, if you enjoyed that story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they really would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to tap the notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Oh, and don't forget to share the video far and wide. This will all help with YouTube's algorithm and will help to promote this channel more. And don't forget to check out the merch store. The link will be in the description and also in the video thumbnail. And if you would like an honourable mention, send in a snapshot of yourself with your purchase and I'll feature it in one of the videos. I now have my very own subreddit community where you can submit any stories you've written. You can submit your stories or encounters either there or send them to cryptidsroost@gmail.com. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine with me. All the links are below. I also have a Facebook group, Twitter, Reddit, and you'll also find me on Discord. If you would like to support this channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/cryptidsroost. Again, that will also be below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.